Hello and welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a while, but I'm happy to be back and I'm happy that you're here. Today I wanted to talk about pension actuaries and what they do, what their responsibilities are, and why they are so important. Just for some background, I'm an actuarial analyst in the retirement sector and I have around 3 years or so of experience in the field. I did not study actuarial science in college. What I did study was economics, statistics, and astronomy. So I have a pretty analytical background and a decent amount of experience working alongside credentialed pension actuaries. So I'm going to start by talking about what a pension actuary actually is, the key responsibilities of pension actuaries, and then I'm going to go into the types of pension plans that pension actuaries work on. And lastly, I'm going to discuss why pension actuaries are very important. So, what are pension actuaries? Well, clearly, pension actuaries work with pensions, but more specifically, they specialize in the design, valuation, and management of retirement and pension plans. Primarily, they assess and manage the financial risks associated with pension plans to ensure that these plans can meet their obligations to both current and future retirees or participants. Now, let's get into a little bit more specifically the responsibilities of pension actuaries. First off, they design pension plans so that they meet the needs of both employers and employees and comply with regulations. So this includes specifying the types of benefits, plan contribution levels, and different payout structures. Another thing that pension actuaries are responsible for is the valuation of pension liabilities. So essentially, what they do is calculate the present value of future pension obligations by using mathematical and statistical methods to project future benefits owed to retirees based on factors such as salary history, years of service, life expectancy, and retirement age. Then they ensure that these pension plans have the necessary assets to meet these future liabilities. And then the ratio between assets and liabilities is known as the funding status of the plan. The next thing that pension actuaries focus on is providing funding recommendations. So basically, these actuaries will give their clients, which are the businesses that have adopted these plans, advice on how much money needs to be set aside to guarantee that the pension plan will remain solvent or in good financial standing over time. And they will recommend appropriate contribution rates and funding strategies that will minimize risks and costs as much as possible. Pension actuaries also participate in compliance and regulatory reporting. So what this means is that the actuaries will ensure that the pension plans they're overseeing comply with all of the laws and regulations in the US or in whichever country they reside. One of these laws is known as ERISA, or the Employee Retirement Income Security Act, which has a lot of complexity and nuance to it, but essentially it's designed to regulate and protect employee benefit plans like pension and health plans offered by private employers. And ERISA sets minimum standards to ensure that these plans are managed fairly and responsibly, and it provides important protections for plan participants and their beneficiaries. Related to this, pension actuaries prepare forms and reports for government agencies, plan sponsors, and auditors, and this is actually one thing that I do a lot of in my work. Another important part of a pension actuary's duties involves risk management. So they identify and manage the risks associated with pension plans such as market volatility, changes in life expectancy, and interest rate fluctuations, and they help plan sponsors implement strategies to mitigate these risks such as adjusting investment portfolios or plan design in the form of assumption, method, or provision changes. Now, speaking of assumptions, pension actuaries deal a lot with actuarial valuations and assumptions. They use assumptions about mortality rates, employee turnover, salary increases, and retirement ages to predict future pension payout amounts, and they periodically reassess these assumptions to ensure that they remain accurate over time. Actuarial valuations are something that I prepare quite frequently as a part of my job, and these assumptions basically provide the basis for the analysis. The last responsibility of pension actuaries that I'm going to talk about is communication with stakeholders. So these actuaries often find themselves in situations where they need to explain complex financial concepts to non-experts, such as company management, plan trustees, or employees, in order to help them make reasonably informed decisions about their pension plans. So now to talk about the two types of plans that pension actuaries work on. Defined benefit, or DB plans, essentially promise a specific benefit upon retirement, which is typically based on a participant's salary history and years of service. In a simple explanation, the actuary's role here is to calculate how much money is needed in the plan today to be able to fund these future promises and pay out all of a plan's participants. The second type of plan is known as a defined contribution, or DC plan, and in these plans, both the employer and the employee contribute a fixed amount, and the retirement benefit essentially just depends on investment performance. Pension actuaries usually aren't as involved in the day-to-day management of DC plans, but they do still sometimes offer consulting services for them. This is true for me in that the vast majority of my work time is spent on DB plans rather than DC plans. Now, lastly, why are pension actuaries so important? Well, pension actuaries help ensure the financial health of retirement systems and protect both the interests of employers and the long-term financial security of employees. Their expertise is vital in preventing underfunded pension plans, which could lead to financial shortfalls or even the collapse of the retirement system, which would obviously be devastating to the senior population of this country. Personally, I feel extremely satisfied by the idea that I'm playing a significant role in securing so many people's retirements and therefore their livelihoods in the last decades of their lives. The idea that I'm making such a tangible and important impact on so many lives, even if it is extremely behind the scenes, is a major thing that keeps me motivated and excited to do the work that I do. So thank you so much for listening to this video. I really enjoy talking about what I do and the importance of it, so I really appreciate you tuning in. Please ask any questions you may have in the comments below, and I'll be happy to respond to you. Be sure to like the video if you enjoyed and subscribe if you want to see more like this in the future. Thank you so much again, and I will see you next time.